Hey everyone, we're just about halfway through, or a little more than halfway through AEP. There's 3 weeks left. And I just kind of wanted to share some thoughts and share some things that I think I've come to accept as far as the people we're talking to. And it's something that it's a behavior thing. And I just recently got this epiphany because I was watching something from a nutrition fitness coach who brought something over that he learned from Dave Ramsey, who is, if you folks don't know, a financial kind of talk show host, financial advisor. He's been doing this, probably one of the biggest names in financial talk show around. And he said that there's this something called the debt snowball, right? And it's basically a way to pay off your debt by paying the smallest amount you owe first, and then slowly building up into larger debts that you owe. And even though many of us, especially us who are in insurance and who like numbers, we know that that's not the smartest way to do it. The smartest way to do it is to pay off the highest interest rate one first, and then work down that way. But this particular fitness doctor, nutrition doctor, he said the reason why it works is because human behavior. If the people who needed this kind of help were in new math, they wouldn't have to deal with this debt problem. They don't know math, that's why they have this debt problem. It's a behavior issue, not a financial / objective math issue. And I thought that's kind of where we are with people and insurance and just everything in general that people need to do. It is a behavior, it is action. Inaction, like taking a test or looking through academia and doing a multiple choice, yes, that's taking an action, but it's in a confined space that doesn't really impact one that much, right? It's not a large, or to what some people believe is a large decision. Many people unfortunately leave large decisions up to chance, up to what they've been told, up to someone else to decide for them. And I was recently talking to this lady at Walmart at the kiosk, and she asked me a very peculiar question because she trusts me. I've been talking to her for a while, and she's like, I should just stay with my plan, right? And in my head, I'm thinking, well, if that's what makes you feel the most comfortable, that's what you should do, right? Even though I haven't done any analysis with her, she's an employee or one of the vendors that works there. So there was no real analysis done. There's also no real need for her to think about changing her plan because she isn't in that pain threshold, right? She hasn't experienced pain enough to even consider changing plan. There's no point in her mind. Why? It's been working thus far. Why ruin a good thing? And I thought that's pretty much what it is. How much pain tolerance somebody has. And for plan sponsors, if you're listening, probably not listening, but for plan sponsors, the best way to keep your members is to just not cause them any pain, or at least enough pain for them to consider even shopping. Because most people I talk to, most people who I've changed, is not that they're looking for something better because what they have isn't good enough. They're looking for something better because what they have, they feel sucks. And until someone reaches that point where they feel something sucks and they're missing out, then they will move. Until that point, though, they don't. Even with the promise of more money that they're going to be getting per month back in the form of a Part B give back, even with them understanding that, yeah, their dental plan that they had for the past 2 years they never used, so that's really the only thing that's really changing. Even though they know that the cost for what they're, paying for, or a specialty visit might go up $10 or something. That's nothing to them. The $60 give back is also more painful, in fact, because they have to make a change. Even though, mathematically speaking, this person, healthy as they are, would have to get admitted to the hospital 2 times and visit specialists more than a few times to make up the $60, $720 per year. Now, granted, she did figure out, the vendor I talked to at Walmart did know that $60 was $720, so there was some thought into it, which is not nothing. But I feel like for this particular person, there would need to be a far greater catalyst to cause action. And that has kind of got me thinking that, potentially speaking, for folks who are not in pain, this is back to a lot of what sales and getting the psychology of having people do anything, buy something, take steps toward bettering their life, take steps towards bettering their health, take steps towards bettering anything, period. Making change requires somebody to experience a level of pain. And sometimes you have to make them experience that pain. Sometimes you have to help them realize that pain. And that's not something that I enjoy doing from my personality and just what I like and dislike as somebody, right? So I would rather take somebody who is already experiencing that pain rather than force them through that pain. Now, a lot of people, and myself included, are going to say, hey, well, I mean, that's kind of our job, is to get them to realize that they're losing out. They're not taking advantage of everything that they should. They could be in a better place in their life if they just did this, program, or bought this, I don't know, new frying pan or something, right? They could have a much better life. But until their frying pan breaks, or, they really, 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 really want one, they're not going to do anything. And I'm someone who I do that as well. I'm a human. I have this behavior issue. So, after that long introduction and talk and kind of summarization of human behavior, what am I going to do, or what am I thinking about doing more of and less of next year? So, next year, I think, and this year too, going into 2024, I'm going to focus more effort into finding people who are new to Medicare, because I find that those are like the most stickiest clients. Even if I haven't seen them, I have clients on my books from 9 years ago. 9 years ago. That are still on the plan that I recommended 9 years ago. Right? 9 years ago. That's a long time for not having any changes, and for them to be fine on it, right? Amazing. So, new to Medicare. Also, I'm going to target folks who are in pain, not people who just need to make a change, because some people, especially folks who've been on Medicare for more than a couple years, they know that they don't have to do anything. They know that come next year, if they didn't do anything, they still will have insurance. Whether the insurance is the best for them or not, they don't know unless something goes wrong. And in that case, they're in pain. So those are the two kind of major shifts I'm going to go for. Not helping people who are in, you could call it, the gray zone of comfort. I want to take people who are in the red zone of pain, or in the white zone of being completely new and needing to pick something because Medicare is confusing. And that's why people like me and viewers of this channel are doing what we do, to help people who are confused and have questions, and especially for those people who have pain that we can help alleviate by, fixing or at least educating on the benefits of what they have. I hope that helps somebody out there kind of frame how to approach the 2024 next season, lock in, rest of year, whatever you guys call it in your own internal lingo. But I think that will be helpful, and I hope that's helpful because for me it's a shift. I've been out of the one-on-one non-referral based business for since the pandemic started, and that's about almost 4 years. And that's one major change that I have kind of made in my practice, simply because I know now that those are the folks who are willing to change. I talk to a lot of people who just don't want to change, and they don't, who am I to try and get them to change? And even if they are in the point or at the point of like trying to figure out what they need, and if they're not interested, nothing you can do will make them change really, unless you rub salt into a fresh wound that you kind of reveal for them. And it might not even be a wound for them. They might not care about dental. They might not care about drugs. They might not care about their doctor. They might not care about $100 give back. They might not care. And for us to go through that exercise makes us just look like a bad guy, especially if we don't add a lot of finesse to it, especially if we're just trying to get a sale. If we're trying to get them to realize that they have an opportunity, and they know they have an opportunity, they don't do anything with opportunity, that's okay. I have just begun to accept that that's okay. People are going to do that. And there's a whole bunch of people out there who need help and are not getting the proper guidance that I should reframe or reprioritize my efforts to. And maybe, hopefully, you do the same. All right, do good things. I'll see you in the next video.